Hey, listeners, are you ready to unlock your potential and build generational wealth? Join us at the Health and Wealth Expo Live Summit on October 24th at the National Harbor in Maryland. It's your chance to learn from top experts and take control of your future. Visit healthandwealthsummit2024.com to register today.
That's a great question. I would attribute it to two things. The first thing for sure is nursing, because of growing in the leadership structure and starting from the charge nurse to supervisor to manager to director. That's what taught me, of course, leadership, managing teams, growing teams, mentoring, opening department, opening service lines, closing, knowing business, knowing finances, budget, ratios, like all of that helps, along with I've done network marketing alongside of nursing. So that professional development and building teams and all of that, I never knew that it will come parallel to help other businesses.
Welcome to Nurses with Voices. I'm Dr. Lindra, your host and fellow nurse who's traded in burnout for breakthroughs. I'm here to show you how to transform your nursing career into one filled with purpose, reduced stress, and incredible opportunities. Whether you're looking to start your own business, build generational wealth, or simply find a healthier role in nursing, this podcast is for you. Join me to explore practical strategies to overcome burnout, combat bias, and chart new paths in nursing. It's time to reclaim your voice and reimagine your future in healthcare. Let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of Nurses with Voices. As you know, we are getting ready for the Health and Wealth Expo live in-person summit that's going to be on October 24th and at the National Harbor in Maryland. Today, I have one of our esteemed panelists, I like to say. One of our guest speakers is going to be Nerissa Malloy, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. So Nerissa she's been a nurse for over 22 years. She has become a trailblazer in nurse business development, helping nurses really unlock their entrepreneur potential and create successful ventures. And I want to go ahead and let her introduce herself. I'm excited that she's going to be a part of the Health and Wealth Expo. And I wanted to give you guys a little dose of what to expect on October 24th. So Nerissa, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, first of all, let me just say thank you, Dr. Lindra, for your vision, all that you're doing for the Health and Wellness Summit, just to shine the light on entrepreneurship, because as we know, a lot of healthcare professionals have bridged into the game of entrepreneurship. And just thank you for honoring your assignment and inviting me to speak to your audience as well. So we could definitely help and propel, of course, the healthcare profession and the businesses and to create more impact. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
So hi, everyone. I am Nerissa Malloy. I'm a registered nurse of over 22 years, as Dr. Lindra mentioned. But I have a background in consulting. I'm a business consultant, and I work with aspiring entrepreneurs in the healthcare space, whether you're thinking of starting or using your expertise to provide a profitable service. I service those entrepreneurs as well as established entrepreneurs that are growing high achievers, may have a small team, and they just need to streamline structure and just have more efficiency in how they operate on a day-to-day. Make sure their team is operating as optimal as possible so that they can bring results and that they can reduce the sanity, help with their sanity, because it can be a lot managing a team and a business. So that's what I do, come in to rearrange, and we take the load off of the entrepreneurs so they can focus on the business development aspect, which is growing their business for sure.
That is awesome. So basically, you would come in and basically for me, being the CEO of my company, you would come in and help me restructure and go through my systems and processes and make sure everything it has a good flow, basically.
Yes. So we look at 4 key areas: your support team, to make sure that the right people are in the right roles, delivering the right results. We look at your profit. What do your sales and your marketing look like? Is it time to increase your prices? Are your margins great? We look at that. We look at your systems and processes. Are the workflows working? Are there broken inefficiencies? Are there workarounds? And then we give you the strategy to fix those things and implement and support you as you implement as well.
Amazing. You see why you guys have to come see her at the expo? That's funny. And I love it. And I love to see nurses really utilizing their expertise in this type of way. Right. And
Mhm.
I always say this because, in nursing, they teach us compassion, right? You don't really
Yeah,
get to utilize this part of your expertise. And would you say that your nursing profession is what molded you to be able to really practice the way that you practice now in your business?
that's a great question. I would attribute it to two things. First thing for sure is nursing because of growing in the leadership structure and starting from the charge nurse to supervisor to manager to director. That's what taught me, of course, leadership, managing teams, growing teams, mentoring, opening department, opening service lines, closing,
Mhm,
knowing business, knowing finances, budget, ratios, like all of that helped along with I've done network marketing alongside of nursing. So that
mhm,
professional development and building teams and all of that, I never knew that it will come parallel to help other businesses. But I attribute those two things to learning how to operate and manage a business. And fortunately for me, that has helped me. But there are people that have businesses that have never been leaders, that don't
mhm,
understand budget and those things. And they have a great talent, great skill, great expertise, but it's just
mhm.
business piece that we do not learn in nursing. It's not taught in school. So it's that business acumen, and that's where I come in to bridge that gap. So whether I come in to teach you how to do it or I come in and implement it myself, those are the options. And then for starting out businesses, I make sure you have those key foundational pieces in place so you can build on that structure and expand.
Absolutely. And you mentioned something, the leadership piece of it, because a
Mhm.
lot of nurses have, chosen to start businesses and didn't necessarily have that leadership. And I think that leadership aspect is really key in with being able to transfer your skills and your expertise into a business. However, and that's where mentorship comes into play,
Yeah.
right? Mentorship and coaching is so important in including that leadership ability because it is a missing piece and it can be that missing link if you decide to start a business and you kind of skip that step, whether you weren't interested when you were working in the
Mhm.
traditional setting or whatever it was, and maybe you went into nursing because a lot of times these days people are going into nursing and they already know what they want to do, right? So for instance, I know people who are into aesthetics and they're going back to nursing school because they know they want to become an NP so that they can do more with their practices, right?
Yeah.
So these people already have a certain mindset and they may, miss that mark of being in charge or taking those leadership roles, not
Mhm.
understanding that leadership aspect can be really important in running your own business. And again, some of these people already have businesses, so they know what to run. However, it's still a skill that can really be perfected when it
Absolutely.
comes time to starting your business and when you're in the traditional setting. And many they struggle, and many of the nurses
Mhm.
they struggle with burnout, right?
Mhm.
And they may not realize that their potential outside of the clinical setting. And what steps do you recommend for nurses who are considering starting their own business but don't really know where to begin?
So, two things. You mentioned about burnout, which is so crucial because of the failure to delegate. And if you were that nurse at the bedside that felt like, I'm just going to do it, I'm not going to delegate to the tag or let the administrative secretary do something. If you did it all, then you're going to bring that same struggle into your business. So, that's the key thing there that you touched on is the burnout and knowing how to delegate and who to delegate to and follow up. But for those in a business, you want to make sure that you have the right uh, counsel. You'll be surprised. I had a conversation with someone just last week, and she's a nurse practitioner. She wants to start a telehealth practice. She already has an EMR, but she isn't clear on the audience she wants to serve. She said, "I'll serve everybody that has high blood pressure." And so I asked her, "How will you stand out from everyone else that's out there? What makes you
Hmm.
unique? What would make people say, 'Okay, I'm going to you'?" And then she wants to be self-pay. I said, "So why would they not use their insurance versus self-pay, especially for
Right.
hypertensive care?" So, I
Hmm.
mean, and she's already purchased the EMR system. So it is so important that the same time and dedication you put into your education, going to the classes, going to the instructors, getting the courses so you can get that degree, you have to treat business the same way. You are a baby in this field. So if there are people that you can learn from, and I don't mean TikTok, Google, and Facebook groups either. Because there's a lot of stuff in those groups that
Wait,
blow
well,
me.
let's be clear.
No, everyone has their own ideas of what works. They don't know what works for you, your capacity, your background. But no, get the support. Someone that could look and say, okay, this is what you're doing. Maybe you need to do this, or you need to try this because of your background, your knowledge. But you have to have a basic understanding of who you serve, why you're serving them, and what makes you different. You know, they call it your unique proposition. But if you're not working with a coach or a consultant or a mentor that's going to guide you in that space, you're going to end up blowing a lot of money or hemorrhaging costs because you're just doing trial and error and you're throwing your money at so many different things. So before you invest in EMRs and all that stuff, get a course, get a mentor. I know things are changing. People are a little skeptic about investing in high ticket consultants. You know, that's what they say. You know, it's subjective, but at least start out with a course, something or someone that can guide you, that has the expertise, that has the experience, that can lead you on the right path because those mistakes can cost a lot of time and money. And truthfully, Lendra, we're not trying to spend another 10 years, 8 years trying to figure business like how we got our degrees. We're not trying to do
Right,
that. We're trying to have
right.
time and start seeing a return from early out. So it's best to invest. Get the support.
Let me tell you, I've been doing this for quite some time, right? I have the leadership skills that we talked about. I mean, I've been a nurse for 22 years. My skills were definitely transferable into starting my
Mhm,
business. However, I have 2 businesses. I
mhm.
still have a coach. I still have a mentor. It's ongoing. So be
Absolutely.
ready because being a business owner is not for the faint of heart, right?
Mhm.
It's not. It's really not. It's like nursing. It's not for the
Yeah,
faint of heart.
exactly.
And if you're going into it, to your, I love how you really break it down and you used a great example of you know who your target audience is. Know,
Mhm,
all of that. I love how you said that. All of that in the same energy that we put into our education, we have to be able to do that because I with starting our businesses because people see like, oh my gosh, this person started a business and they're so successful. But do you know what's behind that? And that's where that coaching and mentoring comes into play. So I get it, but you have to be willing to invest in yourself. Right. This
mhm.
is you investing in yourself, because I don't want to say, I mean, I hate to sound harsh and I don't want to offend anyone, but the cheap way out, listen, you got to start looking at quality over quantity. Now, if you rather
Absolutely.
go to YouTube University or, pay
Mhm.
somebody, $97 for, well, then you know what? You're going to get what you paid for. Right.
Exactly.
So you have to be willing to really, sometimes it may take that high ticket person if they really have what you need.
Need. Yeah.
Listen, you listen, pray on it.
Mhm.
I'm a woman of faith.
Yeah.
So, pray on it. And, you have to make that decision. You have to decide this is what I'm doing for me. And,
Mhm,
all of this conversation really leads up to the same type of conversations we're going to be having at the Health and Wealth Expo. You have to be willing to invest in yourself because
mhm,
that's how you start building generational wealth. And
mhm.
that's how you start leaving legacies. It's not just
Absolutely.
about owning a business. It's about having a business and letting your business stay in place as long as you want, right?
Right.
Not you having to close the doors because you don't have any ROI. And so that's
Absolutely. And then the
so
other thing, when you pay, right, when you invest, you have to think about it. If you're a person that's reluctant to pay for services, and let me not say pay, invest in services, how do you expect
mhm,
people to invest in your business?
there you
When you have a
go.
closed hand, you can't receive. So,
Exactly. Exactly. No. So tell me, you've mentored and you've coached numerous nurses, right? In building successful businesses. Can you share one of your most rewarding success stories
mhm.
and key lessons, right? That others can really learn from experience.
One of my rewarding stories was as a nurse practitioner. She started a weight loss practice and she didn't really know what she had her hands on. She just started it and it just woof. People were hitting her left and right, and she didn't have systems. She was getting text message all hours of the night. The people that wanted it, people sending her numbers, and she didn't have the systems in place. And it came to a point where she felt like, you know what, I'm ready to hang this up. It's taking too much of my time, my energy. It's burning me out. I can't sleep. It was so, and then she couldn't keep up with the payments, the invoices, manual stuff. So just coming in to what she had already grown, which was amazing, and just creating structures around it. We found her a healthcare admin, and she's been with that person for about a year or so. Oh, and again, we were key on identifying what is it that you need to support you in this season and where you're going. And then we made sure we created the roles and responsibilities for that role and posted it and hired so that person can grow with her. So that was so important. And then we put some systems in place, processes, websites, like all the different things to help take the load off of her. Now she's vacationing. She's like, this is practically automated. She's ready. She has her brick and mortar. She's looking to open a second location because we put the key foundational pieces in place so that she can grow on. So every time I always check up on her and we, support her with any growth needs because of course, like you mentioned, at every level, things are different. You're going to need a different mindset. You're going to need
Right.
different strategies. So you're always
Right.
going to need a coach or a mentor. So we're always touching base. Where are you now? Okay, how can we get you to this level? So it's rewarding to work with her just to see the growth in her clientele. She has Google Ads now, so that she's getting new clients weekly. It's only because she has the processes in place. Because if you run ads and 50 people come into your business, can you handle that?
Right. Right.
Right. So
Right.
she's a great testimony working with her and just seeing where she's expanding her services too. So it's just all about getting the support early out. And it
Right.
doesn't have
Exactly.
to be like you said, high ticket. If it's just a consultation or a strategy, get
Mhm.
something, but don't try to wing it. We don't have time to waste more money at this game.
And that's what happens. I actually had I was talking with someone recently, and it took him 3 years to launch his business.
Right.
And I mentioned to him, just imagine had you had a coach, probably could have launched your business in like 3 to 6 months. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's because
Yeah.
what happens is we've been there, so we're
Right.
able to help you skip all of those mistakes, right? So
Exactly.
and that's the purpose of having a coach and a mentor, and trust me, it
Absolutely.
is worth it.
It's worth it.
You
It's
know what I mean?
a
Yeah,
really
I think we
good.
get a bad rap because sometimes people do get bad experiences, so and I can't speak to those experiences that people have, but for the most part, a lot of us really, really, really wanna help people, and we wanna get you to the
Mhm.
next level, and we know what we're doing because we've been there.
We did it, right. Or we've seen or worked with other people that we can say, "Oh, no, I did see this, and this is how you navigate that."
Absolutely,
Mhm,
absolutely. So there you have it. There's a little dose of what you will
mhm,
see from Nerissa Malloy at the Health and Wealth Expo.
mhm,
This episode is sponsored by NOLA, so I have to mention that. And make sure you guys join us at the Health and Wealth Expo, October 24th, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can get your tickets you can register at Health and Wealth Summit 2024.com. That's Health and Wealth Summit 2024.com. And you can go on and look at the speaker overview, upgrade to VIP so that you can have lunch with the speakers, attend the closing reception so that you can really get your questions answered and really connect and network. So until next time, guys, make sure that you stay inspired, stay educated, and stay empowered.
see you.